Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Coming at you once again, another Ricky's Rants with yours truly, Ricky T. Anthony. Now, did you guys see the fight last night? Now, this is what boxing is supposed to be. No disrespect to Floyd Mayweather and some of the other fighters out there. Floyd is a great champion. His record proves it. He fought almost everybody that there was. I believe he could have fought other people in their prime, or he might have slightly sidestepped one or two others, but hey, that's just my opinion. Floyd was a great defensive genius and a great pugilist, but he needed opponents that would raise the stakes and make his fights exciting. I mean, just like one of the fights out there, two of the biggest names at the time, but one of the most boring fights I ever saw was Bernard Hopkins versus Winky Wright. Two great fighters, but together their styles didn't match up. Floyd needed those styles to match up with him well and make an exciting fight. This is why, at a certain point, neither he or Pacquiao was making much money pay-per-view, because they didn't get those quality opponents. Did they make money? Yes. Not as much as they would have made fighting each other years before. That said, the undercard of last night's fight at 154 was a great back and forth rumble tumble fight, action packed, a lot of skill and a lot of entertainment. And my hats off to the winner. His name escapes me right now. I had not heard of him, but he was an undefeated young fighter. I think it was like 21, 22-0, and he just moved up another notch, beating another skillful opponent. And the main event, Shawn Porter versus Keith One-Time Thurman. As I was watching the fight, even before the fight, I knew if it was an ugly fight, if it was a dog fight against the ropes, rough and tumble, it was Shawn Porter's fight for the taking. But if it was a skillful boxing match with sharp, powerful punches thrown from the outside and a lot of ring movement, then it would be Keith Thurman's fight. And guess what? The fight was somewhat reminiscent of Vargas versus De La Hoya, where you saw De La Hoya controlling the fight in the middle of the ring with some powerful, sharp shots and using the ring well and moving, but Vargas controlling the fight once it got in close quarters. It was very reminiscent of that fight. It was a very contested fight against the ropes, but I do agree with the decision. Keith Thurman eked out a victory. Why? Because when he was against the ropes, he did throw some very good shots on the inside. And of course, it was obvious he did a better job from the outside. He did a slightly better job on the ropes, but a much better job outside. And I think that's why he was awarded the victory, as I would have awarded him too. But you know what? If it had come out a draw, I wouldn't have been mad. But anyway, it was another great fight with two great champions. I think the next thing is seeing Timothy Bradley and Kell Brook, or Amir Khan come down and face Timothy Bradley or Kell Brook, and have some version of the top four fighters or the four belt holders in the division fight off to have a unification on a pay-per-view card. I think that would be great. I'd like to see it. I know you guys would like to see it. And then you have guys up and coming on undercards like Gary Russell Jr. Gary Russell Jr. needs to face some names now as he's coming up. Some names that are just on the cusp. Like, let him have a great fight against a Ortiz, against a Berto, against a Devin Alexander, so he can get some names of worthy opponents with different styles under his belt. Maybe even Marcus Maidana. And then he can step into the big leagues. Maybe Luis Collazo, if Collazo's still game. And then he can step to the big leagues, chase after Keith Thurman, chase after Shawn Porter, chase after Kell Brook, Timothy Bradley, and Amir Khan, who I think are the top five of the 154 division right now. So there you have it. That's my rant. Another night of great fights and watching all those great-ass fights flexing on your funky ass. And I'm out.